And we are live for show number 116 for this week's Flippinar. We have a full house. We have both of the lovely ladies tonight. But before we get started, I just wanted to promote a video I uploaded today. A lot of y'all have been asking for it, that are especially in the Illinois area. About, the new quote unquote wholesale law, whatever. And I was fortunate enough to, an attorney there, real estate attorney there, was lend his time to answer some questions about it. And I think it's one of the better videos, especially interviews that I've ever done. And we also got into answering questions about real estate contracts, and a lot of the same things I already knew, but you guys may want to hear from an actual attorney. So boom. So you can just go to YouTube and do a search for wholesaling houses in Illinois and put Flipman behind it. Just search for that, and that particular video should appear. Over to you, Adria.
All right. Welcome, everyone. It's October 17th, this Thursday. We thank you for joining us, where this is the place where you can ask your questions in regards to wholesaling real estate with little to no cash. And the beautiful Miss Renikia and Ty Flipman will answer them. I always like to do a roundabout and tell you how this thing works. So if you're on Facebook, Instagram, and or YouTube, you post your questions and I'll read them. They'll answer them. It sometimes helps if you give your location so we can better cater the answer specifically to you. And if you're ever asking about, is it a deal, make sure you have all of the information needed so we can crunch the numbers. If you have not gone to dealyoulater.com, where you can download that one-page contract that Ty's been using since the beginning of his wholesaling career, you can do so. It's simply plug and chug. Go there, download it, or just enter the information, email it out, do whatever you need to do with it, but it is available for you. Also on dealyoulater.com, you can find a handy dandy Deal You Later calculator that you can crunch your own numbers to see, is it in fact a deal? Renikia, glad to have you with us all the way from E-Town. How's it going?
It's going great. How is it going out there in Alabama?
It's cold.
It is cold. It's like,
yes,
winter is here. It wasn't a warning.
So I'm already pulling out the Sherpa boot.
I went out yesterday. It was like everyone had on coats and sweaters. I was like, we're supposed to be waiting to pull out these coats.
Been waiting. Like
the first day.
I just need a good rain so I can pull out my duck boots. Then it's on. I'm Eskimo style. So, guys, if you're not aware, Miss Renikia joins us on Thursday. She is very, very, very great at giving generational wealth advice. She has a financial company that can also take your wholesaling to the very next level. Make sure you stay tuned to get information on how to contact her. We will put that up on the screen now. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can see that there. She's available across all social media platforms. Renikia, I always like giving you a moment to explain to the subscribers, the viewers, what exactly it is your company does and how it could possibly help them step their game up.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, I like to always thank Ty Taylor for allowing me to be a part of this show. My name is Renikia Williams. I am the CEO and founder of Fortune Key Financials. And what we do is really just created a one-stop shop for financing. My motto is nothing moves before the money, and you always need the money before you're able to go out there and really take this real estate business to the next level. Although we teach how to buy and sell real estate with absolutely no money, which is very, very doable. But at some point in time, you may want to invest in your business and you really may want to take it to the next level and start getting residual income. So with that being said, that's what we do. We provide creative financing for individuals like yourself to be able to take the money, leverage your credit to be able to go out there and really build generational wealth. And if you do want to take advantage of any of those services, you can go to fundmynextdeal.com.
All right, that's fundmynextdeal.com. All right, in the words of Flip himself, let's get it. Let's go ahead and start asking questions. We'll go straight from YouTube. Joshua Bush wants to know, how long does it take a cash buyer to respond back with an offer after receiving all the details, pics, and info on the property?
How long it takes? Honestly, I mean, a buyer will probably know if they like the property instantly, as long as you have all the numbers. See, the thing about it, the quickest way to sell your property is to have all the numbers. Kind of know, how much, around about how much the repairs would be. Know what the after repair value will be. So you kind of take the guesswork out of it, and all they need to do is really go walk the property, which they can do during their due diligence period. People buy, it's really a numbers game, for a long time it's location, but no matter what that location is, if the numbers make sense, the deal makes sense too. So a person that has all the information can evaluate a deal instantly and tell you if they want to move forward or not. Now, a lot of these wholesalers, they'll send out an address, address with a purchase price, no picture, after repair value, rehab costs nothing. And it's like, how can I evaluate this? So if you want someone to evaluate your deal quickly, you want to provide as much information up front as possible.
All right. I didn't do it, but Airwick on Instagram, you're absolutely correct. I do think this is excellent content, the best out there, if you ask me. And Airwick is giving a shout out all the way from Indianapolis. We have off-roader Mike Alicia. Thanks for joining us. I haven't seen you in a while. Ephraim, hello. Miss Broxton, California is represented here. Auburn, that's Auburn, Alabama, Hampton, Virginia, Largo, Maryland, New Jersey, Williamsburg, Virginia. Oh, we're all across the map. Thanks for joining us. Cameron Newton, and this is on YouTube. What kind of contacts and paperwork is needed for mobile homes? I want to see what I need to close this deal. So when we're talking about wholesaling mobile homes, I know we always like to start out saying that's a little different than a single family home. You kind of have to treat it like a car, rolling off a car lot. So what's the answer to that? What do you need to wholesale a mobile home, Renikia?
I mean, to be honest with you, it's no different from wholesaling a single family home. The purchase price, you want to make sure, mobile homes is a little bit different because you actually, you can just, it's kind of, from my understanding, it's kind of like selling a car. You can walk around with the title and you're able to kind of deed it over instantly. But most important, it's the same thing as selling a single family home. You want to have a contract on the property. If you wholesaling it, you want to already have an end buyer in place. Allow the end buyer to do their due diligence. Take the guesswork out of it. You get a great deal. Know that it's a great deal. Allow your end buyer to figure out all the what needs to be done in order for that person to sell or buy that mobile home. But there's no difference from buying a single family home.
Ty, any input?
Yeah, just to follow up on what she's saying, the main thing is the transaction is more similar to, like you said, and like her and Adria said, more similar to like purchasing a car, because they can literally have the title in hand and a bill of sale, and boom, the deal is done in 5 minutes. No title or anything. Now, if there's land involved, then that's really works in your favor as far as a wholesale deal, because now you will, if you're going to do it the right way, is what I would say, then you now will need to pull, do a title search, because the land is, you can't move that or whatever. So, but if it's a situation where the mobile home has to be moved off the property, or it may be in a mobile home park sometimes, you just have to be careful on that, because the contract will literally mean nothing. Because if a buyer gets, in contact with the seller with a mobile home, you could easily be pushed out of that transaction. On top of that is understanding what a mobile home is valued at is different than a house, because they are depreciating assets in most markets or whatever, just like a vehicle. The day you buy a brand new car, you can't go back and get the same price for it. Don't care what you do. They won't give you the same money. or whatever. So same thing with a mobile home. You could buy a mobile home and bring it back, want to bring it back the next day. They're not going to give you the same money what you paid for. It's not new anymore. And so you have to just be careful then trying to come up with a value. The easiest thing to do is to reach out to mobile home dealers, probably within the state, because a lot of times there's not a lot of them. Then it can be a lot depending on the state that you're in, and see what they will pay for it. So in order for you to provide them enough information, they're going to need to know the year is built, the manufacturer, and the size of it. And then they'll want to know if it needs to be moved, and they'll want to know a general location because that'll factor in the cost of where it's going to be moved to. It could easily cost $7,000 and up, to move a mobile home, depending on how far it needs to go. Then it depends on if it's a double wide, if it's a triple, or if it's a quad. All that stuff factors in on the cost of moving one. So.
All right, I see you guys are still checking in. San Antonio, Texas, Los Angeles, Charlotte, North Carolina, and DC being represented. And huge shout out to Mailbox Monies, who's joined us on Instagram. If you guys have not taken a chance, taken the opportunity to go look at mail2flip.com. It's where you take a better chance of not getting your yellow letters per se getting sorted over the trash can. It's postcards that allows you to put a picture of the property right there on the card when it's delivered in the mail. It just grabs the owner's, or rather the seller's, attention a little bit more. Maybe gives you about a 50-50 chance of not going in the trash. Next question is from Janae Jules, and this is from YouTube. Is it legal for a Canadian citizen to wholesale in the States without a work visa or any documentation?
Well, foreigners buy real estate all the time.
Right. I mean, yeah, you can buy real estate from anywhere.
Well,
Okay.
One of my main investors out of Israel.
Okay. So ultimately your residency shouldn't have a factor on where you're buying properties.
Your residency has a factor on if you need a loan. You have to have a Social Security number and things of that nature. But if you're paying cash, you can purchase anywhere.
Green is green. I see you, Tennessee. Well, I'm not sure, so I'm not going to assume. Chauncey Moss on YouTube says.
That was from YouTube?
It was.
What was her name?
Jules Janae.
Okay, I'll find it.
Chauncey Moss on YouTube. Renikia, does your funding is what that should be. Funding service approve loans to LLCs that's trying to build business credit, but currently does not have any credit due to being a new investor / company?
Yes, that's a good question. So that's exactly what we created. We created a funding plan to fund startup companies. So you have started your company yesterday, I can get you funded. So just to kind of give you an idea of, getting funding when you first start a business, you have to person guarantee it. So as long as your personal credit is a 680 or higher, you'll be able to get funded through your business. Now, it does take time to get the larger lines, because in order to get large line of capital from the banks, business lines, personal lines, you have to have financials, tax returns, bank statements, income verification, cash flow in and out your business, and that becomes your collateral basically to make sure that you'll be able to take care of that debt service. So if you just start a business, you don't have tax returns, bank statements, income verification, and things of that nature. So you start off with the unsecured method, and it allows you to it's just pretty much personal guaranteed. As long as your personal credit is a 680 or higher, we're able to get you funding through your business as well.
All right. And keep in mind, you can reach out to Renikia and her staff at fundmynextdeal.com. They typically respond in 48, 72 hours. Just keep an eye on your email for any communication from them. This question right here is from Aaron, and it's on YouTube. And I think it's a good question. So Ty and Renikia, I want you both to answer it. What were your top 3 lead generation or marketing strategies when you first started out, and how did those evolve as you learned more and matured in the market? Mm-hmm. So we're not going to say top 3. We'll say top 2. We'll knock it off one. What did you use when you first began wholesaling, and how has that changed now that you know better?
I guess I'll start. I think my greatest marketing strategy was networking. I met other wholesalers, I met other contractors, people in the industry. And when you start meeting people in the industry, they also have a network of people. So that was kind of, a great way for me to just kind of get my brand out there, but also network with people who's actually moving and shaking in the industry. And from there, you can learn so much from so many different people because there's multiple ways to skin a cat. And you're able to do more business. A lot of times people don't care to wholesale another wholesaler's deal. But if you think about it, if you connected to 10 wholesalers and they all have a deal and you're able to find a buyer for each and every one of them, you didn't have to go out and find 10 houses. You have the money. So I became very successful just co-wholesaling with other people as well. But the other one, I would definitely say probably vendor signs and networking for me is really what really boosts my marketing. And then social media. I just throw that out there, sorry. If no one knows you're selling anything, then how can they buy anything from you?
Okay, so has that evolved any? I know that's what you used when you first started out. Is that still what you're using now as your top?
Absolutely. Because it works. I mean, it's so many ways to market this business, but there are top 5 or 6 ways that really, really works. And bandit signs work, yellow letters work. And I probably use more bandit signs than yellow letters over time, I would say.
All right, Ty, you had time to think about it. Your turn.
Oh, it's nothing to think about.
Excuse me.
But yeah, bandit signs is number 1. Driving for dollars would be number 2 when I started, and then I did some direct mail also would be number 3. Today, probably well, you know what? Even back then, and I stopped doing it. I was doing Google AdWords back then, and it was actually more effective then because it was a lot cheaper to do it or whatever. So today, 4 houses, I still do bandit signs, do the direct mail, and Google AdWords are going to probably be my top 3 right now. So
right now, okay.
Yeah, which I do the others cold. I do a lot of stuff, but so it's
right.
Question. So there we go.
All right. So the next question is from Instagram from Biological Son, and it's pertaining to the contract that I mentioned that you guys can pick up at dealyoulater.com. With your contract, I've noticed that there wasn't a wholesale fee. Does this mean the seller and buyer won't know what I make?
Who's that?
Oh, wow.
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. Yeah, that's not. See, the purchase and sales agreement. See, there are a lot of ways to do this, and when that question comes my way, that lets me know you're not watching my stuff, right, or enough of it. Let me just say that.
Right.
There are a lot of ways to do this, right?
Right.
I can only tell you what works for me. I'm familiar with some of the other methods. Is that you have contract with the seller and yourself, purchase and sales agreement. You have a contract with you and the buyer, purchase and sales agreement. The contract with you and the seller is lower than the contract with you and the buyer. You get the difference via an assignment fee. There's no assignment contract per se. I have had situations where some attorneys, some title companies will want you to produce an actual assignment contract. Mm-hmm. Normally, that's not the case. I've even had them, they just want it signed at the closing table just for their records or whatever. So that'll vary. But for the most part, you can't, again, a lot of ways to do it. And, sometimes one way will work better than another depending on the situation. That was one of the things the attorney and I, he was talking about on yesterday that I interviewed or whatever. And we talked about contracts near the end of that particular video. So you're going to have to watch it all. I can't really tell you what point of it is, but we got into that. And a lot of things I've been telling you all, because an attorney told me this, you know what I'm saying? Years ago when I started, he said the and or signs thing, he said, he struggled with telling people that every day. You don't have to add that. Why do you put that
Right.
verbiage in there? You're putting them on alert
Exactly.
that you're going to possibly
Right.
assign it or whatever. It's not needed. All contracts are assignable unless that contract states it's not assignable or whatever. And so, but anyway, I asked him a question because I thought, this is what I thought. I asked him a question about, do you have to use the board of realtors contract if a real estate agent is involved? He said, no, you don't. He said, that's just what they want to do. But in reality, I mentioned the one-page contract. He said that works fine. He said you just need a seller and a buyer, a price, and consideration. That's the earnest money. He said that's really all the contract is. So that's why one page will work. Or whatever. Just watch the video. He breaks it down really good or whatever. And I don't know why I got off on that, but
yeah.
But no, that was good. I just want to piggyback on that because you really don't want to use the assignment contract. And the reason why is because no one wants to see you make money, and especially off something that you didn't put any money into. So that gives people the chance to negotiate your assignment and things of that nature. Those two contracts does the same thing. You can just subtract one contract from the other, just know your assignment fee in there. But you don't really want to alert the buyer and the seller that, hey, I just made $20,000 off of you, and I didn't put any work into this property. People will count your pockets, and people will get to the closing table, and they will cancel your entire deal because you're making more money than them, or something of that nature. So using a purchase and sales agreement is really a lot more efficient if you are making lump sums of assignment fees.
All right, while we're talking about that contract, again, Instagram, I'm sorry if you cannot see what we're putting on the screen. I invite you to come back and watch the YouTube video. But Facebook and YouTube on your screen now is that purchase and sell agreement that is available to you on dealyoulater.com. But I wanted Ty to pull it up because Joshua Bush on YouTube wants to know, with number 9 being omitted from the one-page contract, what does that exactly mean for my wholesale deal?
number 9 is not omitted.
Okay, I just wanted to see. I don't know.
I'm not sure what he's talking about.
So I guess if a seller says no, you can't advertise.
Well, that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, does nothing then.
Yeah, you can advertise another property. I got this one.
Exactly.
Get creative, people. You know what I'm saying? Get creative. You don't have to advertise that property. Yeah. But I also have this other property. You advertise whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I also have this other property. That one is not available anymore. I'm not telling you to do that. It's just a hypothetical here.
Okay. Rhonda Goings, and this is on YouTube. She mentions that she went to an REIA meeting last night and was told that wholesaling is outlawed in Georgia, Maryland, and Illinois due to wholesalers not being upfront and transparent with sellers. Again, he just mentioned he did an interview with an attorney from Illinois.
Why? Yeah, watch that video.
Watch the video.
I'm pretty sure Georgia is not on that list.
I'm sure Georgia not. Everybody going to jail, but Georgia on that list. Everybody about to get locked up.
And I'm sure Maryland is not on that list. I don't know who these people.
My thing is,
information is not correct.
All information is not good information.
I just said that.
No, you said all good. You said all good information is not correct information.
Same thing.
No, it's not. It's all information is not good information or correct information.
Or correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Who y'all listening to?
And don't allow someone to stop you from building wealth. Figure it out. It's always loopholes. The wealthy would never ever not create a loophole for themselves.
Yeah. When I posted the video today, a couple of the comments, like the people saying, go on and get your license, blah blah blah, and I guess wholesaling is dead, blah blah blah.
Wow.
I said, that's what you got from that?
Wow.
So technically, that's what he's saying.
So that sounds like they say that you can't assign a contract. That's impossible.
Yeah. Well, technically, and I asked him some questions, I feel, and he knows what he's talking about. When you watch, you'll be confident of that. But I asked him some questions that just hadn't been thought of. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I buy a house today and sell it today? He said, technically, yeah. He said, but they don't want you to be to advertise it before then, right? Or market the property before then, you know. So that's like, he said just a lot of minutiae. Is that the right word? What is that right?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Well, anyway,
yep,
but anyway, there's a lot of small technical things that people that wrote this, you shouldn't just look at and say, oh, well, we can't wholesale no more. No. Okay,
right.
They enforcing some laws that really were already on the books, right?
Right. We're making too much money.
Look at it as an opportunity. Okay, this is what I need to do now. Now, if you don't want to get your license, that's fine. They seem like it's just fairly easy to get or whatever. But in the video, I asked the question. I said, well, is it that you need a license to do deals, period? Or do you just need an agent involved in the deal? They're more concerned about an agent being involved in the deal, right? And you can actually, trust me, there are a lot of broke real estate agents out here.
Absolutely. I think 50% of them are.
I would say
I can't worry about that 3%.
And so they are willing to partner with you. You just need an agent in the representation. Just watch the video. We went through all of that or whatever. But at the end of the day, ain't nobody trying to do nothing illegal. We doing it within the law. But at the end of the day, you still sitting down with attorneys and title companies performing these transactions.
90%.
You just don't have to be sheep and do what everybody else is doing or whatever. Right. Not that you're trying to take advantage of nobody.
Let me tell you something. Wholesaling been around for 30, 40, 50, 100 years. Yeah. But as soon as, I'm just going to be honest, as soon as our culture began to understand how to wholesale, the laws changed.
Yeah. In Illinois.
Call it what it is. In Illinois. A lot of people talking about it, though.
I know. It's ramping up. Talking about it. It's ramping up, but, we'll see. We'll see what's up. Yeah. But I just look at it, as I explained to one of the guys in the comment, it's just an opportunity. I look at it as an opportunity. If everybody else falls back, hey, it's not. That's a good thing. That's an opportunity or whatever. So,
and get you some transactional funding, so you don't have to technically wholesale it.
Yeah, because you can still buy, fix, and flip or whatever. You don't need a license for that.
Exactly.
They just concerned about the assignment thing or whatever. And man, anyway. We can go on about that, but we got what's some other questions? What was that question there? Well, who asked that question?
Yeah, that question.
It got me 38 hot up in here.
More of the story, don't stop.
Prodigy on Instagram wants to know what do you do if the seller keeps asking what's your assignment fee? Is a seller asking what an assignment fee is? Are we dealing with a seller?
No, we're not dealing with a seller.
Yeah, if the seller asks what an assignment fee, I can almost assure you don't have a deal. I can assure you.
Right. And I can almost assure you probably dealing with another wholesaler.
Yeah.
Sellers don't even talk like that.
They don't even, motivated sellers don't talk like that for sure.
Okay, guys. So I mentioned mail to flip. Corey Meeker,
that's my man,
is with that company. What's the name of that company?
Graphics Connections Group out of St. Louis.
Graphics Connections Group out of St. Louis. And he wants me to tell you guys that he has a Halloween special going on right now where you can get 20% off your postcards.
The printing.
And there's a coupon code in YouTube. So you may think if you're not on YouTube, you got to go to YouTube and find it. Because I'm not going to tell it to you.
Oh, no, I'm going to tell it. Yeah, it's PMKN seeds, pumpkin seed, short for pumpkin seed, PMKN seed.
Seed, S-E, pumpkin seed.
Yeah.
All right, guys, no reason not to get those postcards out before the end of this year. You still got time. Still got
Last
time.
quarter push. Last quarter push.
Oh yeah, baby, Christmas, baby.
Last quarter right here.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Ridge Worldwide is on YouTube. And the question is, if direct mail has such a low working percentage, why do people still do it?
Because it makes money from it. That's why.
Because that low working percentage is enough to
he's saying
justify.
he's saying the response was, yeah, if we were selling pencils, no. But we're not.
Exactly. Because it only takes one.
It only takes one.
One person, one call. And it would take care of that expense. So if you put up $1,000 worth of postcards a month, but one you get at least one deal a month, that's going to yield you at least 10,000. It's worth it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. If it's yielding 5,000, it's still worth it.
Yeah. This one of the recent videos that I did, it was more of me going through the process of talking to a seller. You know, it was recorded or whatever, but that deal came from a postcard, a $1,500 postcard. I made 20 grand on it or whatever. So you tell me, whoever asked that question, is it worth it? That was just one deal from it. You know what I'm saying? So boom. But with any form of marketing, whether it's postcard, banner sign, cold calling, ring, voicemail, Google AdWords, Facebook ads, whatever, you have to be consistent.
Right.
You have to be consistent with it. You know, I know that's hard for you to spend a month with no money, 2 months with no money. Now, it depends on what we're talking about. Maybe I want to talk about a few $100s, but some of the other ones may be thousands. But you have to be consistent with it. But that's also why it's important is that you need to build up to multiple ways of generating leads. Because someone that will respond to a postcard may not respond to a banner sign. Someone that will respond to a cold call may not go online and do a Google search, say, sell my house fast. So that's why you have to have multiple ways of marketing. And, you know, starting out, I know that may be difficult, but that's what you want to build up to. So you may go with the less expensive methods of generating leads. So, all right, Adrian had to step away for a second. She got a text that she needed to respond to. Y'all know what's next is me.
So I would say marketing, just to piggyback on that marketing, the key to marketing is really consistency, like you said, but also it's a combination of multiple marketing campaigns going at the same time. You know, and that's just the way that in order for you to truly be successful, you have to have multiple different marketing campaigns going at the same time.
Oh yeah, there's no question about that. You got to have multiple ways of generating leads. Now, some people, I know some people that have done it, you know, with just one form, but the way it was explained to me by the owner of Graphics Group Connect when I went out to visit him last year, he said, you just leaving money on the table though. You may be one method may be working, but you just leaving money on the table if you're not using multiple methods. It's just that simple because everybody's not going to respond to the same things. So what I wanted to do was he quoted that 20% off special, Halloween special. So I just wanted you all to see that that code. I'm just showing to you right now while we talk. So while you're looking at that, just want to flash it up there really quick. Let me go to the next question. All right, so all right, Miss Doran Brayboy says, what do you think about using Landglide and Deal Machine apps? Now, Landglide I actually use. It's very good when you're out in the field, just determining who owns a property and so on. It's just an excellent app or whatever. The Deal Machine I've only heard about. I've never personally used, but with any tool, it's just a tool and it has to be used and produce results for you. So I've heard good things about the Deal Machine, just like with any other app. You know, some people are going to be negative on it, but a lot of times that comes because They didn't put the work in most cases. So
Right.
it's just a tool. Both of them are just tools. Anything you want to add?
No. I never use those two apps. So.
Okay. All right. All right. Joy Renee Craig from from YouTube says, is advertising We Buy Houses on Craigslist an effective way to generate leads? Used to be. What do you think?
I think so. I absolutely, I think so. Absolutely. Because I mean, I don't know, someone said something changed on Craigslist, but I used to run a lot of bait ads on Craigslist, exactly what you were saying earlier. Well, I just take a picture and post it out there and assume someone call. It's on a contract, but you begin to get buyer leads and seller leads from those ads. So at the end of the day, it is a tool that a lot of people still check Craigslist on real estate for sale in the area and checking for services. So I mean, it's an avenue and a vehicle that I feel is still can be used in some type of way.
All right, cool. All right, Luis Estes from YouTube says, are there any restrictions on wholesaling in Ohio? No. Two of my best students are there in Ohio. I was there back in May of this year, visiting with an investor, and the student, one of my first students, he met us at the casino up there, and he had just closed a deal where he had then sold a portfolio of I don't even know if it was that many houses. I think it was like 10 or so houses in his rental portfolio for like $380,000. So
Wow.
so yeah, you can wholesale in Ohio. If I don't know any
Absolutely.
other state outside Alabama, I know you can wholesale in Ohio. So that's what's up. Just to answer that one really quick. Someone says, where do you buy your bandit signs from? Just text me and I'll send you that information. All right, here's one, Nick, you dive into. Is doing a deal with a realtor a good idea for your first deal?
Doing a deal with a realtor?
Yeah.
As far as
Wholesaling.
getting the realtor to find your property on MLS?
They didn't go into detail. I guess that's what they mean. It's just something off of MLS.
I mean, to me, it's a numbers game. I mean, no matter where it comes from, MLS, private sale, auction, courthouse step, it's all a numbers game. So if the realtor can bring you a great deal and the numbers make sense, why not?
Okay. All right. It's all about the numbers. Just understand when dealing with a realtor, they're going to want earnest money. $500 a minimum in most cases. They're going to want funds in most cases. Yeah. All right. Then you're going to have to also make sure the property can be shown. So I don't personally advise dealing with an agent if you're brand new in this game. You can get they need to be an investor friendly. Yeah, they need to be a very investor friendly. They need to be talking the same language that you're talking. You know what I'm saying? Just that simple. They need to be talking the same language you're talking.
I totally agree. And I'll also say with agents is in for a transaction. They don't care if your numbers make sense or not. And a lot of them don't understand real estate investing. So make sure, I think one of the main things that you want to utilize a realtor for is to have them pull comps for you to make sure that you know what your property is valued at the repair value or whatever. And you want to use them for that. But most importantly, I wouldn't rely on them to make sure you have a great investment, because a lot of them don't understand real estate investing. They are a representative to a transaction. But investing is a different animal. So I will agree with Ty. You want a investor-friendly realtor who really understand how to invest into real estate, but also be willing to help you at the same time.
All right. Okay. Someone asked, how do I build a cold calling list besides tax delinquent properties? So what I'll do is this is my opportunity to show you the Digulate AK prop stream and how you can build an actual list. All right. So what I'll do is I'll I think I'll just use Cook County, Illinois, since we've been talking about them boys. All right, so we'll use, because that's a highly populated area. So what you do is if you choose, you can search by city, the name of a city, zip code, or by county. If you're going to do zip code, you can input up to 6 zip codes at once to search. But what you do is you enter the area or region you want to target. You go to filter. I normally will go with non-owner occupied. I go with free and clear. Single family homes. You can do townhomes, condos, multifamily land, and other if you wanted to. I'm going to do off market. So it says on market. I said no. All right. I don't care about the foreclosure status in this example. Ownership information, owner type. I want to do individual. And I want them, so it's going to be a lot of properties here. So let me just hit apply. It's over 33,000 properties. So what I would do here, because it is a large number, I want them to have owned it for 5 years or more. Okay, that's, man, still a lot of them, still over 17,000. So now what I can get to is I can just target just all out of state owners. Right. So now it gets down to a workable number of 1379. I'll reduce the years of ownership to 3 or more. And that takes it up to 1693. So that's a workable number for a cold calling list. So boom. So you can just all types of ways you can filter out and build list here, so boom, to answer your question, and hopefully that helps. So let's move on to the next one. All right. So, all right. Someone says, Master J says, is this good? All right, he says, I just got a house on the contract today, but the house is boarded up. The owner told me to enter and take the boards down. Is it a good idea or make him do it? And I have 5 vacant lots all in one day. So he's basically saying the owner tells you to take the boards off. Would you do it?
Absolutely. People, that happens all the time. They'll tell you to take your tools out there if you want access to the property, and it happens. And if numbers make sense, why not? Okay. Absolutely, take your tools out there and go into the property. Yeah.
Hey, you get gator, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gator.
Hey,
I mean, we done climb, through all types of stuff to get into these properties. Numbers make sense, trust me. I got all types of tools I ain't never used. Okay.
This is a form of flip, man, or tie. I remember one time I went in the house and they weren't going. I knew they weren't going to give me a key. Shoot, I left a window unlocked.
That's it. That's all.
You gotta have doors unlocked. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get gator, man.
You gotta get gator.
Used to do that. So anyway, what else we got here? All right. So Ram Evans says, a wholesaler called me thinking I'm a cash buyer. How do I approach this?
You're a cash buyer. You want to be confident in what you're doing. I mean, it's not saying, I think we all kind of approach it as if we are cash buyers, although you're assigning it to another end buyer. I mean, whatever gets the deal done. But most importantly, just make sure you have your end buyer in place who do have the cash. So it doesn't mean that I have the cash, but just know that my team has the cash and my team could be the end buyer.
All right. Let me see. It says, oh, wow, this is a good question here. I think I understand what they're asking. Why, I guess they say, why would a realtor pass a deal on to you? Where I am at, you have to compete with realtors as everyone has access to cash or LOC, line of credit, I guess. I mean, yeah. So,
I mean,
so
that's
they
just
basically saying, well, why would a realtor? Well, you guys have to understand, some realtors, their mindset is just, they're not investors. They're not investors.
They need the 3%. They are transactional.
They just want that 3 to 6%. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Well, what percentage of in realtors? I'm sure you meet a lot of realtors. Well, you're in the investor world, so it may be a little different for you. But what percentage of realtors? I know this just opinion of realtors. They don't care about investing. You know, they
No,
just
they don't.
They just
No,
want to list.
90% of real estate agents do not care about investing. No, that's why they'll pass it to you, because they don't understand that it's a good deal. I mean, they understand it, but they don't. You know, so they just want to get their 3%.
Yeah, they want to sell it for as much as possible, because that means more
Exactly.
commission. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But anyway, so we got to go ahead and end this early. Adria had a family emergency or whatever. Guys, we really appreciate you showing up tonight. Again, check out that particular video that I just released today, Wholesaling in Illinois. Just put Flipman behind your search on YouTube. Anything else you want to share, baby girl, before we get out of here?
No, just, time is of the essence. There's a lot of great information out here. There's a lot of great resources out here. Do not underestimate the time that we in. There are already laws being passed to change wholesaling. So understand, you have to seize the moment. And the moment right now, America is for sale, and we have the ability to purchase, wholesale, flip, gentrify. The resources at your fingertips. And most importantly, I built a platform where you can get creative financing to fund your deals, fund your wholesaling business, do your fix and flips. And we also have portfolio lending when you're ready to really hold on to your properties as well and build residual income. So a lot of opportunity out here, and let's build legacies. But if you want to take advantage of leveraging your credit, go to findmynextdeal.com. I also can be reached via Facebook and Instagram. Or if you want to email me at funding@fkfinancials.com.
All right, guys, we really appreciate you all showing up this week. We'll be back next week. As we always say, we'll see you on the flip side.